Good morning. Happy Tuesday morning, everybody. We have a lot going on because William is in New York. Yes. And other family members are out and about. Yes, all of them. So let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start with Beatrice. Her daughter, Sienna, is now 2 years old, and her husband, Edo, put up a tweet on Instagram. We've already seen her face several times, so I'm not sure what the point is of the back of her photo, but very cute. Happy birthday, Sienna. Moving on. All right, next we're up to Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh. She is patron of the Cardiac Trust, and the Cardiac Trust did a show called Heartbeat at the iconic Mayflower Theater on the anniversary of its 30th year celebration. And it's called Musicals from the Heart. And it was produced by Broadway and West End performer Earl Carpenter. And it has a lot of stars in it from that area. Now, Heartbeat was launched in 1992. In 2015, they opened a new cardiac unit for young adults at Southampton General Hospital because the charity raised over £500,000. It now is running a 3D heart campaign, which is revolutionizing the approaches of surgeons who carry out invasive cardiac diagnostic testing. And a big thank you to Remoulade Sauce, as usual, for the information on the beautiful outfit that Sophie was wearing. Next up, we have Princess Catherine. She arrived at the Royal Naval Air Station by royal helicopter. Remember, she is now the Commodore-in-Chief of the Fleet Air Arm. So she hopped out of the chopper. I don't know, I could have done that gracefully. And she was taken inside where she was able to see different parts of the base. She certainly didn't need security when she first arrived because she had all of these men walking her into the hangar area. Obviously, I don't know what they were talking about, but it must have been pretty interesting. I can't even imagine. Anyway, there was a lot to see on this particular day. I don't know that I'm going to be giving it all to you in the correct order, but I'm going to try. Okay, I mean, I'm going to give it all to you, but it just may not be in the correct order of which she saw things. So one of the big highlights was the fact that Catherine put a life jacket on during a naval exercise. So Catherine arrives to the one area, and this is all about the safety training and ditching in the water and all this kind of stuff. And basically, they tell her that she's going to have to put on a life vest. Now, I think she was a little nervous. At least that's what I'm seeing on her face. She was like, okay, no big deal. She puts the life vest on. She's laughing. She's joking. They help her get the vest on. She's the only person that I know of that can put the vest on, pull the cord, have it inflate, and still look absolutely fabulous doing it. So here is a little video to show you how it actually went. Watch her at the beginning when they tell her to pull the cord. I personally have always wanted to do that. Lucky Catherine. All right. She stood there for a second, and then they moved on to the next area. Now, one of the next areas she went to was the air traffic control tower, where she met the staff and, found out what they were doing there. And then they actually put the headphones on her and had her talk to a aircraft. I think she had a good time doing it, but you could also tell when you watch the video clip that she was a little nervous. I mean, let's face it, you make a mistake, somebody could crash a plane. But yeah, I thought she thought it was pretty cool. I think she had a lot of fun doing it. Now, her next stop after that was to go into the hangar and talk with the people there. Now, while she was there, she was shown a couple of helicopters. One of them that she was able to get into and sit down in is a Merlin Mk4 helicopter deployed by the Royal Marines, and they provide disaster relief and use it also to hunt for submarines. That sounds interesting. Now, she had the chance to fly a Wildcat Mk2 in a simulator, which I guess is how they practice flying these sorts of huge helicopters. Pretty cool if you ask me. Now, the next thing that happened was Catherine met Danielle Beckinsale. She is 20 years old and she's an engineer in the squadron at the base, and she helps maintain and service the aircraft. And apparently she was selected to meet her because she's the only female engineer in the squad. And Catherine wanted to meet a female. Good for her. Yay, Catherine. And yay, Danielle. I'm glad to see you doing such excellent work. Now, after looking at all of this stuff, and there was a lot, obviously, she was there for quite some time going from place to place. They walked her back outside, and apparently there were some, they looked to me like vintage planes, and Catherine was able to take a look at them. This plane is called the Fairy Swordfish. Yes, I am not kidding. And she was able to go out and take a look at that. And of course, they had other things to show her. She was very, very busy, but you know, as is usual, she did everything very gracefully. Now, if I remember correctly, this title that she got came from William. I'm sorry, not William, Andrew. Okay, a big thank you to Remoulade Sauce for all of the information on what she was wearing, as well as the insignia of the Fleet Air Arm, which is the naval aviation component, which she was wearing on her jacket. All right, really quickly, I told you yesterday that Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, was in Cornwall. Apparently, he also met children and families at Tralia, which is a charity that is dedicated to providing positive interventions in the lives of those with significant challenges to overcome. Love it. All right, now we are moving on to Prince William. He himself said that he was inspired by his grandfather and his father to try to help the planet, especially now that he has 3 small children. And that is why he put together the Earthshot Prize. William landed in New York. I found this very interesting. No pap shots, no car chases. Because other people want to be seen, they set that up. But William wanted to be private, therefore, there you go. Just as an FYI, he flew commercial because somebody got a picture of him. I would have been all over that seat. He landed at the airport in New Jersey and immediately headed to see the Billion Oyster Project. This is a nonprofit that's working to restore oyster reefs in the New York harbor through public education initiatives. Apparently, the reefs used to be really flourishing in New York, but since 2014, this project has put 122 million oysters back across 19 acres of the harbor. 15,000 volunteers, 11,000 students, everybody working together. So he arrived and he was taken by boat to Governor's Island. He was introduced to everybody that's involved in the project. He saw an oyster hatchery. He saw oyster shells that have been donated by Manhattan residents that are used to help restore the oyster reefs. Fabulous. Now, of course, the Coast Guard was nearby to help give protection to Prince William because, you know, crazy sugars are abounding. Now, at one point, Prince William went into the Hudson River and was picking oysters with some of the volunteers. Then they brought the oysters back up on shore to look at them. Now, this all took place at the Brooklyn Bridge Park. Again, lots of information, lots of news coming out, but this is typical William. He's doing his job and he's doing it well. Looking good at the same time, I might add. I think he enjoyed looking at Governor's Island and looking at all of this. That's just my personal opinion. Tomorrow, Prince William is going to announce the 15 finalists for the Earthshot Prize. Let's hold our breath and see what Harry and Meghan have in store, because if they do anything like they usually do, they'll come out with some announcement and they'll try to steal the attention because that's what they do. And no sooner did I type that, there it was on Twitter. Thank you to the Sidley twins. Oh, Meghan did a secret visit while she was in Dusseldorf, and they've just now decided to release the pictures on Instagram. This is going to continue on now, you guys. Ugh. Now, Prince William also spoke to students from the Urban Assembly New York Harbor School about the Oyster Project and what a good thing it was. I think that's wonderful. Now, while he's in the United States, he's also scheduled to make a trip to the United Nations. He will not be giving any interviews with the press because his focus is on the initiatives, not, courting the press, unlike his brother. Now, we know there's going to be a lot of big names with the Earthshot Prize, very impressive speakers, leaders all around the world. This Earthshot Prize really has taken off. Now, reports are coming out that William is set to meet with Bill Gates as part of his trip. I say, why not? The guy's a billionaire. Get that money for the Earthshot Prize. Now, just as an aside, I have to tell you that Teresa Longo put out some information basically saying that everything in the palace couldn't be better. Good for them. Moving on. All right, moving on. Meghan Markle's father, Thomas Markle, was seen on TV. He wants to meet his grandchildren. Now, I think this is interesting because let's not forget, Meghan just gave a speech at Invictus saying, this is about family. This is about friends and community. We all heard it come out of her mouth, but how you can talk about family when you don't even go see your dad who had a heart attack and strokes? Obviously, something is going on with his health. He feels that his time is running short. He wants to meet his grandchildren, and Meghan just has no interest in him. Unfortunately for her, I think, honestly, that's going to be a fatal mistake for her because if he passes away without meeting those children, people are never going to let her forget it. Now, the funny thing is, the only thing that Thomas Markle did in his whole life was set up that one pap shot, okay? That one little photography session. Something which Meghan Markle has done 50 times since then with the photographer that took those pictures of Thomas Markle, I might add. I think she's the one who set him up because she didn't want him anywhere near Harry. That's what I think is going on. Now, Thomas Markle did point out that Meghan Markle has changed. I'm sure she has changed. She's not the daughter you remember. That's what he doesn't get. She has changed. She is not going to give in. He's never going to see those kids. And he said, well, she has a big influence over Harry. Well, the whole world knows that because Harry is weak-minded. He has no will. He has no balls. And let's not forget that Meghan Markle's The Tig, which we've all gone through, clearly shows that her dad paid for everything, did everything for her, and gave her a fabulous life. That was the only thing he did, and she threw him away. Now, of course, Omid Scobie stepped up and went, how is it almost 2024? And they're still, basically, he's insinuating Thomas Markle was paid about this. That's not what it is. The man is dying. He wants to see his children. But Omid, who are you to say anything? You're taking coin for being their cheerleader. Next up, a blind item came out. Those of you who don't know, there was a person on Suits named Billy Miller. He was a cast member. He worked with Meghan Markle. And she didn't even put out a, we're sorry that he died. Even, they said everybody who worked on that show, even if it was just a few episodes, had something to say. But Meghan, not a peep. That doesn't surprise me. All right, next up, we all remember Meghan was in that black Banana Republic dress that was all wrinkled. And, you know, in the world of fashion, collaborations occur between celebrities and designers. But when you wear a dress and you wrinkle it and you unbutton it down to your navel and it doesn't look good, then people don't like it. And it's being reported that the Banana Republic CEO has banned Meghan Markle from their designers because her Invictus look had a negative impact on the brand. So the CEO supposedly said in a New York Times interview that Meghan is royal, the brand is not for royalty, and that Meghan's very public lifestyle is not a good fit for the brand. I agree. Moving on. Now, articles like this are coming out. This young lady, this senator, was at the Invictus Games. So while she was there, now she's talking about a possible partnership with Meghan Markle on a campaign to end period poverty. She said she's going to meet Meghan again to discuss the issue because she runs a program on period poverty. So that is connecting the point. In other words, Meghan runs it. I'm like, I don't think so. You know, I hope she doesn't get her hopes up because Meghan Markle has not stuck with one project or charity. Not one in all those years. Either she's ditched them or they've ditched her. Exactly. Now, articles like this are coming out. Her wardrobe at the games was a conscious decision to be more likable. Sorry. You know what would made her more likable? I completely agree with this Twitter user. She would have been more likable if she hadn't changed clothes 3, 4, 5 times a day, and if she'd worn Invictus gear and stopped it with the $300,000 worth of clothing. We know how much this stuff cost. It's ridiculous. And she wore it in front of people who were on fixed budgets because of their injuries, who were on disability. It's really quite shameful. I said it before, I'll say it again. I am shocked that the leaders of Invictus didn't put a stop to it. And thank you to Goo on Twitter for this picture. All right, now it's been a while since I recommended a channel. I've been taking a look at things, but here we go. I hope I'm saying this right, the Sidley twins. I've been watching this channel for a while. I wanted to make sure it wasn't just a flash in the pan, but it's not. They have some really, really, really good content. So you guys hop on over there and sign up and follow them as well. You won't be sorry. All right, you guys, you know what to do. And if you donated money to my coffee fund, thank you so much.